criminals sentenced to death in Indiana may now get a choice about how they're executed. There are two bills that were filed this session, and they propose using a firing squad.
One of those bills was heard in committee today. 13 News State House reporter Emily Longnecker has the story.
Well, the committee that heard one of those bills today didn't vote yet to move it forward in the process. That could still happen. The bill's author, Republican State Senator Mike Young, tells me that some changes were suggested to this bill in committee, and he plans to make those changes first. As it stands right now, executions in Indiana are carried out through lethal injection. The last one took place last October. That's when the state executed Roy Lee Ward, who was convicted and sentenced to death for raping and murdering a 15-year-old girl. But state officials, including Governor Braun, have acknowledged the limited supply of the drugs used in lethal injections, in part because of the drug's cost and short shelf life.
And so our backup is, if they choose to do it, if they can't get the chemical, is by a firing squad.
Young's bill, Senate Bill 11, proposes using a firing squad as another option and giving the person who's set to be executed a choice on how they'd like to die. Right now, 5 states use firing squads. What still needs to be worked out in Young's bill is how the firing squad would work, how many people would be on it, and whether some of the guns would fire blanks.
We're not going to tie their hands to it. We'll say, here are your options.
Well, the first thing you have to ask when you're looking at these bills is, are you serious? This isn't the 1800s. What is Indiana doing thinking about killing prisoners by firing squad?
That was the reaction Robert Dunham said he got from his Lyft driver Monday when Dunham told him he was headed to the Indiana State House to testify about Young's bill. Dunham is the director of the Death Penalty Policy Project and teaches death penalty law. He says an Indiana jury hasn't imposed the death penalty since 2013. Right now, there are 5 prisoners on death row in the state. Dunham also pushed back on the idea that the proposed law gives prisoners a choice.
It's macabre to say to somebody, we're going to kill you, but we're going to let you decide how we're going to do it. That's something from a grade B horror movie.
Clearly, some lawmakers do not agree. There's also a bill in the House that would allow for executions by firing squad or lethal gas. That bill would also give prisoners a choice between the two. That bill has not been scheduled yet, though, for a committee hearing. At the Indiana State House, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.